5 years ago, the only white guy in a cast photo for the new X-Men would have been the director. But at D23, Marvel brought out the big guns and dropped an announcement straight out of their top-tier 2018 era. The Avengers Doomsday trailer hinted at Downey Jr. coming back as Tony Stark. Adam Driver is confirmed as the villain, and on top of that, we got a mind-blowing X-Men cast. For the next couple of minutes, we are going back to the good old days to break down the massive hype Marvel is promising us for the next few years. We definitely want to hear your ratings on the X-Men cast in the comments. But let us kick things off with Robert Downey Jr., who suddenly and officially returned to the role of Tony Stark. For now, it is just for a ride at the California Disneyland. However, when you add up Robert showing up in literally every Marvel promo over the last 6 months, it is crystal clear that he is back in the cinematic universe for more than just a couple of movies. Stuff like this is strictly negotiated in Hollywood, so Robert coming back as Iron Man in Avengers Secret Wars is basically a done deal at this point. Another major takeaway is that the California ride does not even open until 2028. From a Disney standpoint, it would be completely brainless to launch an attraction with an actor who bails right after Avengers Secret Wars. So it is safe to say Downey is sticking around with Marvel for the long haul. Plus, the guy himself admitted he actually enjoys playing Dr. Doom way more than Tony Stark. According to Robert, Doom matches Stark in brainpower, but trauma just turned one into a hero and the other into a villain. Downey straight up said he prefers playing Victor because he gets to see the big picture without being held back by moral limitations. Robert also mentioned he mostly agreed to play Doom because the storyline lets them dive deeper into his dynamic with Chris Evans. He confirmed that the relationship between Victor and Steve Rogers is going to be front and center in Avengers Doomsday. The veterans clearly threw the cannon out the window considering it should have been Reed Richards instead of Steve, but honestly we do not see any downsides here. Even though technically Downey dropped a massive spoiler right there, and that was not the only spoiler he dropped. In his D23 interview, Robert also let slip that Avengers Doomsday gave him a chance to get to know Haley Atwell better. Mind you, she has been completely scrubbed from every single trailer and promo like the wind blew her away. Marvel is definitely cooking something up, and maybe those story leaks claiming Peggy Carter will be on the side of Dr. Doom are not lying. And hey, who knows? Maybe Victor was even married to an alternate universe variant of Peggy Carter. That would honestly be a mind-bending plot twist. Another huge twist was what Robert wore to D23. Downey showed up rocking a jacket covered in patches of fake businesses. It had the Reed Workshop, the Stan Lee Delivery Service, the Kirby Go-Karts, a Thunderbolts Tire Shop, Thanos Landscaping, and our absolute favorite, the Steve Rogers Septic Service. Captain America has definitely seen a lot of crap in his lifetime, but the jacket from Downey literally suggests he is running a sewage pumping business. Given who Robert is playing and which movie we are talking about, a pretty solid theory is brewing that none of this is just a random coincidence. After his victory, Dr. Doom becomes the God Emperor who shapes Battleworld exactly however he pleases, wiping memories exactly as he wants. He has the absolute power to make Steve Rogers a septic worker, Yelena Belova a tire mechanic, and Thanos a gardener in this brand new world. By the way, this is the very first time Thanos has popped up in any kind of promotional material tied to the new Avengers. So he is another character who could end up being a sweet surprise. Downey might have been straight up teasing the plot of Avengers Secret Wars, where the surviving Avengers who kept their memories will have to put a team together. In this universe, they will realize that Doom brainwashed most of the heroes, forcing them into some honestly hilarious day jobs. And hell, who knows, maybe this even goes down in Avengers Doomsday. During our trailer breakdown, we pointed out how comfortably Victor is chilling on his throne, like he already beat everyone. Plus, as a lot of folks rightly noticed, the trailers are epic but feel like they are missing a real hook. That hook could totally be the massive plot twist that Doom has already won. In Avengers Doomsday, we might just get flashbacks mashed up with the current state of things in Battleworld where Steve Rogers is out there plunging village toilets. We also finally have the full schedule for the first year of the Mutant Saga. On May 5th, 2028, which is 6 months after Avengers Secret Wars, we are getting X-Men. In the summer, we are in for Ghost Rider, starring Ryan Gosling, and then on December 15th, we get the release of Black Panther 3. And the best part is that all 3 projects already have their directors, cast members, and scripts locked in. Yeah, even Ghost Rider has a script ready to go. Kevin Feige confirmed that Gosling came to him with a fully baked story pitch from writer Jonathan Tropper. On top of that, Sean Levy has settled into the director chair. Deadpool and Wolverine is living proof that the guy knows how to make a killer movie. Take notes, Mahershala Ali. This is how you make a splash at Marvel. Instead of just sitting around waiting for Kevin Feige to hand-deliver a finished script, the X-Men movie already has one too, and we finally got the first wave of cast announcements. Indy Navarrete is going to play Rogue, Christopher Abbott is stepping up as Charles Xavier, Kit Connor was tapped for Cyclops, Adam Driver will be Mr. Sinister. Samara Weaving is set as Emma Frost, and Maya Bond will bring Storm to life. Across the board, this casting is a 100% bullseye, but there are two super important takeaways. The first one is that according to Feige, this is not the complete cast list, so Magneto fans can breathe a sigh of relief because they are probably not doing this without him. Even though Mr. Sinister is confirmed as the main bad guy, insiders are already buzzing that Beast will show up at the very least. But Hugh Jackman is totally skipping this reboot. It is still up in the air what happens next with his version of Logan, but they are definitely keeping the actor away from the standalone X-Men movie, which honestly makes a lot of sense. The second and way more crucial detail is that Adam Driver is directly credited as Nathan Milbury, if we are quoting word for word. Technically, that is Mr. Sinister, but the specific name changes the whole game because the classic canon Mr. Sinister was named Nathaniel Essex. He was the one in the Victorian era who got obsessed with the ideas of Charles Darwin and decided to engineer the perfect humans, leading to some deeply messed up experiments. And that also led him to team up with Apocalypse, who granted Sinister immortality and backed his vision of creating a superior human, giving him literally infinite time to run his experiments. So that is exactly how Sinister, just like Logan, started traveling through history, popping up under all sorts of different aliases. One minute, he is Dr. Windsor running tests at the Weapon X facility where they create Wolverine. The next, he is Michael Milbury, helping create the son of Cyclops and Jean Grey named Cable, before sending him off into the future to fight Apocalypse. And the fact that Marvel revealed the exact fake name Adam Driver is going to use is a massive deal in this context, because Mr. Sinister was known as Nathan Milbury during the time he was living in New York. While he was there, Milbury started out working as an obstetrician, secretly harvesting genetic material, and later on he studied families with mutant potential as part of the secret Black Womb Project. Secondly, he planted his own genetic code inside them, so that if he ever died, he could just be reborn in other bodies. Fun fact, one of those families happens to be the Xavier bloodline, and the old Fox universe never got around to finishing that storyline even though they tried to kick it off in Logan. Basically, by revealing this specific name, Marvel is telling us that Mr. Sinister will be operating out of New York and plans on laying low disguised as just your average everyday scientist. Given the events of New Day, it totally begs the theory that Sinister was part of the McAvoy crew studying Jean Grey. They are going to keep unrolling this whole storyline alongside Tramell Tillman in the standalone X-Men movie. That is a killer idea for a separate video, which we are absolutely going to make. But for now, let us run through the rest of the mutants. Emma Frost, played by Samara Weaving, is totally a dark horse on paper since they could take her character in either direction. She originally started out running the Hellfire Club, which Mr. Sinister himself was actually a part of. Later on, Emma slowly morphed into an anti-hero and eventually flipped to the good side, even taking charge of the mutant school. Considering the kind of vibe Samara brings, Marvel basically found their brand new Scarlett Johansson, and the whole style for Emma Frost is going to match Black Widow blow for blow. The only question is whether the dark past of Emma will already be ancient history by the time the movie starts, or if the cinematic universe is going to introduce her as a villain just like the original comic books and then slowly transition her into a good guy. As for the Professor, it honestly feels like the internet decided to gang up and troll Christopher Abbott. In every single Telegram post announcing his casting, they purposely picked the absolute worst photos they could find. Meanwhile, in real life, Abbott is a pretty good-looking dude, and for example, he absolutely killed it in First Man alongside Ryan Gosling, who he will ironically run into now within the cinematic universe. Another huge detail is that Abbott is 40 years old, which gives us a rock-solid idea of the timeline these events will take place in. Sadie Sink is 24 right now, Navarrete is 25, Connor is 22, and our new Storm is 23. Knowing how Hollywood usually plays down the age of actors, the core mutant squad in the movie will probably be anywhere from 18 to 20 years old. Plus, they could easily still pull off flashbacks playing 15 and 16-year-old versions of themselves back when their powers first kicked in. Charles and Magneto will be pushing 40, and this is where they will have to massively rewrite the universe lore. There is not going to be any World War II or death camps anymore. If Eric gets a tattoo on him anywhere, it is probably going to be in a place like Iraq or Afghanistan at most, which honestly fits perfectly into the modern-day reality. Marvel Studios ended up going for a middle ground between the two versions we already know. The X-Men are going to be noticeably younger than the original trilogy cast, but at the same time noticeably older than the reboot crew from X-Men Apocalypse. Back then, a 20-year-old Sophie Turner was playing a 16-year-old Jean. We will talk about what this means for the movie in our upcoming videos, but for now, let us get back to Avengers Doomsday. A new piece of concept art for the flick finally gave fans a look at the designs for Nightcrawler and Beast. who were totally missing from the trailers, sparking a ton of questions from hardcore cinematic universe geeks. And Marvel Studios actually dropped an official watch list of projects you need to see before Avengers Doomsday. We will drop the list in the pinned comment so you guys do not lose track of it. It kicks off with the first 2 X-Men movies starring Hugh Jackman. Then comes the first solo outing with Steve Rogers, followed by Avengers, Avengers Infinity War, and Avengers Endgame. Further down the list, we have got Loki, Shang-Chi, Spider-Man No Way Home, Black Panther 2, Captain America 4, Deadpool and Wolverine, Multiverse of Madness, Thunderbolts, and Fantastic Four. And this is where it turns into an absolute joke, because first off, Marvel just confirmed that Logan and Wade Wilson are going to be in the movie. Secondly, they officially signed off on tossing all those Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, and She-Hulk shows straight out of the canon, making them totally irrelevant. And thirdly, Captain Marvel 2 is missing from the watch list too, even though the post-credits scene literally dropped Monica Rambeau right into the world of the old X-Men. Fans on the internet are already ripping into Kevin Feige for pretending this movie never happened, but we are actually going to give him props because owning up to your mistakes is pretty tough. And it looks like the leaks were spot on about them writing Monica Rambeau out of the movie off-screen without even showing her. To top it all off, Doctor Strange is confirmed to show up, and there is a massive hint that Clea will actually be one of the witches working for Doctor Doom. Nobody was thinking about this when Multiverse of Madness came out, obviously, but the Russo brothers are basically rewriting history on the fly to tie it all into Avengers Doomsday. It is pretty weird, though, that X-Men Days of Future Past did not make the cut for the watch list. That is literally the only Fox Studio movie that clearly breaks down the horrifying consequences of messing with time travel. Plus, it explains exactly why the X-Men in Avengers Doomsday did not just try to fix the whole invasion mess by time traveling in the first place. We are almost entirely sure that an Easter egg for X-Men Days of Future Past is guaranteed to pop up in Avengers Doomsday, so go ahead and toss that movie onto your watch list too. Oh, and you might as well throw Morbius in there while you are at it, because it is super weird how they completely forgot about the guy. Now usually this is the part of the video where we would love to casually slide in some DC news about James Gunn striking back at Marvel, like how Justice League is supposedly planning to go toe-to-toe with Avengers Doomsday at the box office and all that jazz. But honestly, things are so insanely bad over at DC right now that it is hard to even joke about them anymore. First of all, the studio got busted using artificial intelligence while working on Supergirl. In a recently dropped behind-the-scenes video, the crew is shown mocking up visual concepts for Lobo in a collage using an artificial intelligence chatbot, which is wild, and not even just from the standpoint of hiring real professional artists. Like literally just log onto the internet, man. 5 years ago, thousands of fans created tens of thousands of professional-grade art pieces of Jason Momoa as Lobo, half of which look way more badass than these cheap generated images. After a massive wave of backlash, DC scrubbed the video from everywhere. But the drama did not stop there. Fans started putting all of the cinematic universe projects from Gunn under a microscope and ended up spotting 2 suns in Superman, along with a bunch of blurry, messed up, and sketchy frames, making it look like some of the visual effects were pumped out by a neural network too. Sure, it is easier to brush off most of these arguments as plain old human error, but you guys know how it goes. If you get caught using artificial intelligence just once, people are going to accuse you of doing it forever with absolute certainty. But the worst part of all is that while all these major announcements are dropping, it is just dead silent on the end of James Gunn. The first episode of the Lanterns television show recently came out, and people actually liked it well enough, but honestly, comparing it to the massive hype train surrounding Marvel is just kind of sad. So basically, the only real hope DC has left is riding on The Batman starring Robert Pattinson, which has absolutely zero connection to the universe Gunn is building. What makes the whole situation even more hilarious is that the guy generating way more buzz with DC announcements than Gunn himself is actually Zack Snyder. The director is out there right now hyping up the memoirs of Frank Miller, the creator of the legendary The Dark Knight Returns comic book. The comic is celebrating its 40-year anniversary, and Snyder flat out stated his game plan. During a fan meet and greet alongside Frank, Snyder said he is totally down to direct the movie if DC gives him the green light. And insiders are even claiming that Zack has a complete storyboard for the project ready to go, and that he literally marched into the studio with it the other day, bringing the actors along too. Snyder wants to shoot the movie with Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck, even if it is completely disconnected from his own universe. We are talking about a standalone project just like The Batman with Pattinson, and you better believe a movie like that is easily looking at $1 billion at the box office. Snyder clearly has no plans of backing down and keeps finding backdoor ways to push his way back into DC, which by the way is straight up falling apart in the hands of James Gunn. The Avengers Doomsday trailer also threw a pretty villainous layer of meta-irony over this whole mess. I mean, just take a hard look at its overall vibe, editing, and color grading. It is literally Zack Snyder Justice League packed with his trademark gloominess, lens flares, and pure testosterone. We have ended up in this wacky scenario where DC brought in James Gunn to copy the lighthearted, breezy Marvel formula, while Marvel itself finally realized that nobody cares about mediocre movies on the level of Captain America 4 anymore, and it is high time to pivot toward that gritty Snyder brutality. Right after that, we got the grounded Spider-Man 4, and now we are gearing up for an even more brutal Avengers Doomsday. The universe really is the ultimate scriptwriter, because DC is literally murdering its own movies with its bare hands, and it is not even the first time they have done it. The ultimate irony would be if they actually end up bringing Snyder and his brutal style back into the fold. But while their bureaucracy takes 3 whole years to figure everything out, Marvel is going to drop 10 grounded street-level movies, realize that formula is played out too, and pivot right back to their usual comedies. For now, though, there is no sign of that happening anytime soon, and the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe looks totally rock solid, and for once, incredibly promising. But what do you guys think about all of this? How are you feeling after this massive mountain of explosive announcements from Kevin Feige? Make sure to drop your thoughts and wild theories down in the comments below this video. But that is a wrap for us today. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we will catch you guys in the next one.